The Boston Tea Party was not your average tea party, but enacted men showing that taxation without representation is unfair. The colonists of the Boston Tea Party took a stand against the British by boycotting the unfair acts the Parliament proposed, by defying laws to get taxed goods cheaper, portraying the ideals and liberties of freedoms, and by dumping the tea into the Boston Harbor. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Samuel Adams. Most people in the colonies know me as the man of the Revolution. I say that the taxes the British have passed are completely unfair. There were 4 major acts the British have passed. First, the Sugar Act in 1764 taxed sugar and molasses shipped into the colonies. Then the Bloody Stamp Act in 1765 taxed newspapers, insurance policies, deeds, certificates, and even playing cards. Following the Stamp Act, the Townshend Acts in 1767 taxed paper, glass, lead, paint, and even tea. During all of these acts, the Sons of Liberty and I transported British tax collectors and agents to the Liberty Tree, tarred and feathered them, and hung them by the waist to humiliate them. Then, the Boston Massacre occurred, in which 5 innocent colonists were killed during this tragic event. The final act was the Tea Act that taxed the tea in 1773. According to the Boston Gazette, in 1768, colonists consumed over 2 million pounds of tea. I've even used tea as a household medicine, and it's even helped slow my infections. We, the American patriots, knew that Parliament was determined to step up the cost of taxes because they were trying to help get Britain out of their debt from the French and Indian War, which was over 1 million in their currency, pounds. The specific reason for the tea tax was because the East India Company was going belly up in debt and had over 18 million pounds of tea piled up in their warehouse. We had to smuggle 90% of our tea in the coves of Boston because we as American citizens had to get the East India Company out of their own debt. Even though this tax was small, this would mark the 4th time that Parliament has tried to tax us without our consent. This tax was 3 pence per pound of tea. We even got tea cheaper than the British people, asked for the tea to go back to Britain, and even drank coffee to rebel against this unfair Tea Act. Men from all around Boston, all different classes, loyalists and patriots, came here to the Old South Meeting House to discuss what to do with the tea at Griffin's Wharf. Many of the colonists were enticed by the Sons of Liberty, a secret influential group that was against British rule in the colonies that I was a part of to set up the Tea Party. Captain of the Dartmouth, James Roch, tried to persuade the colonial British governor, Thomas Hutchinson, to allow him to take his boat out of the wharf. But this attempt failed. Then there was a huge debate over what to do with the tea. Loyalists wanted us, the patriots, to know that we would be committing treason and could be punished by death. We as patriots knew this, but we were willing to take a stand, and we stood our ground for America and her freedom. Everyone rallied with war whoops and cries that echoed through the meeting house. Boston Harbor, Teapot tonight! Hurrah for Griffin's Wharf! And the Mohawks were come. Then, some 180 participants marched down to Griffin's Wharf disguised as Mohawk River Indians. Now, let me introduce you to George Robert Twelve Hughes, who boarded the Dartmouth on the cold night of December 16th, 1773. Being on the Dartmouth is unbelievable. I've never had this feeling that I'm a part of something so life-changing, revolutionary, and just plain amazing. Me just being a shoemaker, I've rarely gone anywhere near the wharf. This tea party makes me feel like I'm a part of showing that ungrateful Parliament what we as Americans are. There were 3 ships to be exact. The Eleanor with 114 crates of tea, the Brig Beaver with 112 crates of tea, and the ship that I'm on, the Dartmouth, with 114 crates of tea. The first challenge comes now, dumping the tea crates into the harbor. Now we're not just going to throw the tea crates into the harbor. We are going to destroy every single leaf of tea on these 3 ships. First, we have to find a way to get the crates up from the bowels of the ship. Huzzah! A rope and pulley. Oh goodness, these are heavy. Altogether, the tea crates weighed over 92,000 pounds. Thank goodness I brought a tomahawk. Now I can get through the crate's lead lining. Hey Ben, you almost ready for that second crate down there? I'm latching on. I'm ready to get ready to hoist her up. Two-thirds of the participants were under the age of 20. We did not damage anything else but the tea on the 3 ships. On the Eleanor, John Crane got knocked out by a tea crate, but everybody thought he was dead. Altogether, the colonists threw 240 crates of bohea tea, 60 chests of Singlo tea, 10 chests of Souchong tea, 15 chests of Kongu tea, and 17 chests of Hyson tea into the harbor in just 3 hours. The cost of the Boston Tea Party was over $1 million in your time, or 10,000 British pounds in mine. This is how I remember the Boston Tea Party, and I cannot wait to see what the near future holds for me. The Boston Tea Party seemed like an act of vandalism, but it was not. It was a symbol against government taxation without the concern of the taxed. Many of the colonists who participated fled Boston in order to avoid an arrest and death sentence for treason. I am bewildered that some of the colonists, and even George Washington himself, were against the Tea Party. Also, people lost dignity, homes, properties, and birthrights, all for the cause of freedom and liberty. I am outraged that the British Parliament put the Port Act into effect. They even sent the Royal Navy to blockade the importation and exportation of goods throughout Boston. You know this event as the Boston Tea Party, but before 1834, we knew it as the destruction of the tea. The Boston Tea Party gave a strong message that we, the patriots, were deeply committed to opposing taxes we viewed as unfair. We took a stand for something we believed in: freedom, independence, and a say in the government, against the British and Parliament. This was precursor to the Revolutionary War, the Declaration of Independence, and a government ruled by the people for the people, not ruled by a tyrant. The Boston Tea Party's political and economical impact went beyond the taste of tea, but affected the hearts, minds, souls, and lives of every American, then and now.